Hello and welcome to Crusading Through Part 3. I'm Jim.
I'm Sam.
And we are here, finally back, waiting for you, talking about chapters 41, 42, and 45.
Man, it's only yesterday we talked about Wheel of Fortune.
Yes.
Only yesterday and no other time.
So we're covering the chapters, we're covering the Justice arc. Justice of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3. We, as you know, we're going through JoJo Part 3, arc by arc, the manga, reading it, seeing if we like it more. I think we do.
Yeah.
Last I checked, I liked it more than the animal. The anime.
The animal.
The animal. So
this is also one fun fact. This is like one of the fights that's like kind of different in the OVA as well. Like pretty different.
Damn, I really need to freaking watch that OVA sometime.
Yes.
Maybe we'll do it when we finish this.
In 2025.
I don't even want to make any promises about anything, but so
just like best friend, we promise nothing.
Yes. So this is the, as I said, Justice.
The Enya arc.
Enya Guile, which is funny because I always
no one refers to her by her last name.
Yeah, everyone calls her Enya the Hag.
Yes,
because that's how she's known.
And not Enya the Guile.
No, Enya the Guile. So what do you think?
It's pretty good. It's like this is very stupid. A lot of dumb choice. Is this like a because it's obviously like, you know, a homage to like Day of the Dead, George Romero zombie movies. But this is like, instead of the survivors making all the stupidest decisions, it's just like the killer making all the stupid. It's like Ghostface, where like he's like a bumbling idiot, but they also make really dumb. They had all this time to prep and they fuck it up horribly.
Yeah, I was not like terribly a big fan of this, but it was better than I remember in the anime.
For being Dia's like right hand, like she's very dumb.
Enya is incredibly stupid in this arc. It's really funny that she's paired off with Polnareff because like
she has to be, but
yeah, they bounce off each other really well because they're like both very stupid.
So another thing with Part 3 does. The arc starts with like tying up the arc before it. Like, it's been a running thing going on there, which is weird.
Yeah, what's his name?
Wheel of Fortune. He does have a name. I think it's ZZ. I think ZZ's his name, or ZZ Top.
ZZ Top. Whatever. It's not important. I don't care. So we finish off that arc, which I remember liking. I thought that was still a good arc.
Yeah, but he just like big arms and nothing big anywhere. It's like the one time where people actually like
acknowledge it.
Like, yeah, they're people's like body size. Which is kind of funny. Like, this guy's a freak. He has big arms and skinny everywhere else, says the hulking, massive 15, 16-year-old.
So the way that they like deal with him, I find very interesting.
Okay.
Because we don't normally see them go to this length.
It reminded me of Part 2. When Joseph ties the Nazi with the knives up onto the cactus in Mexico and just leaves him there and leaves a note saying, I'm practicing or meditating.
I forgot all about that. Yeah, so that's what they do here. They tie him on a boulder
and steal his passport.
They steal his passport so that he can't leave India, which I thought was like a very strange detail.
If we learned anything from this part or last couple arcs, that it's completely terrible. If you hate it, you're gonna fucking hate it.
Yeah.
And if you don't have any love for its charm, then you're gonna like love it. But I don't think this man's gonna like it. But his card transformed back to, I guess, what it was originally. So can Wheel of Fortune, I'm assuming, can just work on any car?
Probably.
So
it's one of those stands where like it's more conceptual than it is like a powered, like you can point to
they steal his car. Because they steal his car. They're like, his car back. We're just going to take it so he doesn't have this. So I'm assuming his stand can work with any car.
It's kind of like strength to me, where it's like strength could manifest.
It could work on any boat. But I felt like it was its own boat because it just fell apart more so and like actually did sink. But like this one, you feel like, he gets into a car and it's going to manifest into the Wheel of Fortune. So,
which is kind of cool. I kind of like that. I did like the Wheel of Fortune. I really like this funny joke about him just having really buff arms too. Like
like a lady in the water with the one guy who had one buff right side.
It's really weird to me that like they like make fun of him for the like they're saying basically like your arms are good, but like the rest of your body, you need to work on the rest of your body, and like that's the joke. Whatever.
It's just like a stand where like, your car is stupid, but your stand covered up like it was like the fur of or the wool of a sheep, and take it off and it looks dumb.
Yeah. Also, I really like the implication that they basically just murder this man. Like, this is murder.
Okay.
This is actually murder what they're doing.
Oh, Joseph did it before, so he knows from experience. But they have it in the case that you do get out. We are like literally going to like take your passport, so you're stuck in India in the middle of nowhere, where you like ran us off the road, where no one probably drives onto.
They were just in the middle of a wasteland, like
roads don't have like railings to fall off cliffs and shit. So, also, they're getting rid of the fucking extra character of Anne. Get the fuck out of here. Thank God.
Still unnamed. Still technically unnamed in the manga.
Get her out of here. Thank God. Get this stupid character away.
I'm the only one that doesn't hate Anne, I guess.
She's such a waste.
She's not a waste.
Anne's a waste.
She's like... her point is she's just not used well. Like, the whole point of her is that she's kind of like a normal person in the stand world.
I'm just a normal girl who's gonna drool over this fucking 16-year-old, and I just hate that trope.
I mean, it's not too unrealistic.
Almost get sexually assaulted by a gorilla.
Okay, we don't like that. Also, he's an orangutan.
Fuck you, it doesn't matter.
They're very different.
They're both sex offenders. You can quote me on that.
Okay, so we go ahead and we get some... this like
Enya's monologue kind of thing.
All of these Enya scenes are so funny to me. And
Enya's like
weird, like she's literally like boo hoo, like she sounds like she's making fun of someone. Like, oh, my baby boy, Jake Isle died.
Oh, sob. Oh, cry.
Yeah, literally. It's like I feel like I can't take her seriously.
But it's like she's like, leave Polnareff to me. She says to no one in the room.
She's like, yeah,
I'm gonna head to Pakistan and get there from Egypt before the guys who get there from India.
Yeah, I guess she is supposed to be in Egypt, right? Because it looks like this chapter
I'm pretty sure she's in Dio's mansion. Any dark room, I'm assuming it's Dio's mansion.
Well, technically, she could have flown there. We know that because, like...
Another plane that crashed?
Well, no, we know that planes won't crash for her. Planes only crash for the Joestars.
No, I would assume that she would kill everybody on there just because she could, because everybody's so cartoonishly evil.
I'd imagine her, like, falling asleep on the flight and the stand just activating and then, like, everyone just dying.
She took the time to fucking pike that dog on the entrance to the town.
So, yeah, I guess we can kind of jump to, like...
Can we talk about Jotaro finding a tailor?
Oh my god.
On
this
the way.
Is another, like...
So, not only did they, on their way to Pakistan, they stopped on the way, even though they had this easily could have been a town where they found the tailor to have a stand battle, but no, he's like, oh, I found a tailor who just knows how to make a Japanese school suit, or repair it was a make one, because I'm pretty sure his entire thing got burned off.
So, yeah, I love the line is, by the way, Jotaro, I can't believe you found a tailor in Pakistan to make you a new school uniform. It looks nice. Jotaro's response, 100% sheep fur.
Baby.
So it's just like...
It's just a fucking throwaway line of all, like, throwaway lines.
To me, this is honestly just a joke. Like, this line...
It has to be.
This line just feels like a fucking joke, and it's funny.
100% sheep fur, baby. He's so proud of it.
It's funny as hell. I love this.
He was truly proud of it not being sheep fur. Even though it looks 100% like exactly how his school uniform looked.
It just looks like it did before. It's almost as if he never lost it. Like,
it's almost as if it's going to be more flammable now.
Yeah. So we begin with this. Okay, so they enter this town.
We see the dead dog on a pike. Dead dog.
The big thing is like this fog. This whole town's enveloped in this fog.
It's only 3 p.m. and the entire town's foggy as hell.
And we get the first kind of... This is like a joke that has like a payoff. So this is the first like what's the build up for this joke.
The town is sus.
No, not even the town. It's the Polnareff wants a good toilet. Polnareff wants a clean toilet. That's
where the Joestars are allergic to planes and everything. Where Polnareff is allergic to toilets. Where like everything bad just happens.
He keeps having bad toilet experiences. But so the joke is that like later on we know what happens with him in a toilet. But so I like that Araki puts this like little bit in the beginning, making you associate Polnareff and toilets.
After Araki already killed his like arch enemy of the arc, he had to make his new arch enemy, which would be a toilet. Yeah. So
it's honestly like it is hilarious to me that like I guess you could say this is kind of like the epilogue to Polnareff's like fighting the...
It's funny that he's getting rid of both of the threats closest to him in like the first half of part 3.
Yeah. And it is just like him kind of tying up the loose end of like, okay, I killed Jake out. Okay, I guess I'll kill the mom too. But
I mean, he didn't even know. He just like, he probably would have attempted to kill her when she just like... I don't know, I still feel like he wouldn't have killed her because he probably wouldn't have killed a woman or even an old lady.
Yeah, I don't know.
He only kills like ugly motherfuckers. According to Polnareff, anyway.
I'm sorry, Sam. I just have to show you this freaky ad that showed up on this page.
It's just Luffy making out with Nami, but it's just love, Jim.
It's just hilarious.
It's just 18 plus love that you have to make sure you're alone when you click on this link. Make sure you're alone
before playing this. Sorry, I just thought that was really fucking funny.
That's the One Piece right there. Is Nami and Luffy making out? Well, we all know Luffy doesn't know what sex is.
So we have our characters enter this town. It's all foggy. We have this awkward encounter where Joseph is trying to be like all buddy with
He tried to speak, I guess,
Arabic, right?
Arabic, yes.
Or no, wait. Okay, so wait, are they in Pakistan still?
Yes, they are in Pakistan. They drove from India into Pakistan. They are officially in Pakistan.
So Joseph's line here is, to the west of Pakistan, in Islamic territories, this is how we say hello. And he says, Asa salam. So if he's in Pakistan, they would be speaking Urdu. But if they're not in Pakistan, I guess they probably would be speaking like Arabic or Farsi, maybe?
Sure.
I am not sure. That's why, because it's not super clear. Like, we know that Jotaro got his thing prepared in Pakistan, but this is so unimportant. You're looking at me like, why am I wasting all this time?
It's literally the only time they'll speak that language in this arc. So everybody's weird. There's roaches on people. The dude with the roaches is like really top heavy.
I love this man so much. I love the face he makes. It's so stupid.
He's so top heavy. He walks away. You see how big his upper body is compared to his legs. Like,
he's hilarious.
It's so funny.
We have the encounter with the man who's
the dead body guy with a lizard coming out of his mouth.
He also has a gun that is like
recently fired.
Yeah, you can see the fucking like steam or not steam. What is it? The smoking gun. He's a smoking gun, and he's full of holes.
Yes.
So is it supposed to be that he shot himself?
No, because there's no bullet wounds on him. They say that.
But the holes would have become like the Enya.
Yeah,
the justice.
I want to think it's Enya going to stab him. And it was just like trying to defend himself, but he missed.
But they said the gun was shot like minutes ago.
And
they didn't hear gunshots.
They say how long ago it was, like 2 to 5. It was like 5 to 10 minutes ago, or 2 to 5 minutes ago, something like that.
Yeah, and they didn't hear gunshots despite being in the town. That's why I'm just like, why would they have this detail of him with a gun?
Enemy stand.
This is just Araki.
Enemy stand.
This is just Araki doing his thing where he just starts like dropping clues that go nowhere sometimes, just to kind of throw you off of the scent of what the stand power is. Also, the man dies, which is funny. I guess he makes a funny face and dies. Whatever, I don't care. I don't give a shit.
And then there's a really ugly boiled faced woman, and just don't care about any of the dead bodies, or any of the weird things in the town.
That is the Kakyoin's like interaction with the woman is really fucking creepy to me.
It's probably the creepiest part until like it shows like all the zombies towards the end, but like
because honestly, so before we even know that these people are actually just zombies, they're just dead basically. The interaction, or my like take on this would just be like, this woman is so fucking like desensitized to humans dying in front of her that she doesn't give a shit.
I would, because we see the image of Justice, which is like the skull face fog, looks really fucking cool, like invoking the town.
Is that? Oh, are you talking about the time where it shows the card too? Like the card is like imposed on the town.
And then it shows like there's a fog like just engulfing the town kind of thing.
I love that. That was super sick.
I'm not sure, because we know she can control the zombies. Like, can she like puppet through the zombies, or are they like just have a weird mind of their own? Because they still act like people in a weird way. Like they act like very weird people, but like they're not like mindless zombies.
I would say
one zombie was running his business until they showed up.
Yeah, like I would say, if it wasn't for one line that she has, I would say they were just being puppeted. But there's a part where she says, "Everybody laugh," and they all laugh. So I guess she just has total control over
like
them.
The weird cops that show up and like take away the body on like the stretcher, like the joke stretcher. So yeah, but then Polnareff says that they take off the dead guy's shirt and sees all the holes in his chest, but Polnareff goes, "Oh, it's like the cheese in Tom and Jerry." Yeah, I was like, "What?"
I knew you were gonna say that. It is really funny how like these characters just don't care. Like they see a dead dog, they've seen
so much death like so far. Like that whole plane ride was just fucking bloody as hell.
Sam, imagine going into a town, the first thing you see is a dog impaled on a stake.
It's a normal
Would you
day.
Still go into this town?
If you're the Joestars, there you go. Yes. I mean, although this is Jotaro who like fucking like destroyed like massive pieces of property at his own school.
Yeah.
So yeah, then Joseph tries to enemy stand, run. He tries to jump over the jeep, but somehow gets transported back to the opposite way to onto like spikes and everything.
Once again,
which is the power that's the only time we see that power of like you can't leave the fog kind of thing.
Once again, this is another breadcrumb going nowhere that Araki's just dropping.
It's like that Ringo thing where you kind of come back and like restart everything, but like.
No, it is just another breadcrumb to a mystery that Araki has no interest in going into. When they get to the hotel,
it doesn't leave the hotel.
No.
So.
There's nothing. There's nothing to this. It is literally just to have a moment of tension for Joseph.
That and the show that, you can't leave.
I guess. But they still just walk up to the car. Yeah. There's not even a moment where the car doesn't work.
None of them know that Joseph ran towards the Jeep and then somehow came out the opposite side.
It's just... what I'm interpreting this as is Joseph is having a senior moment, and he thinks that the car is actually like this pointy gate.
I hate they always doubt their sanity or like doubt like it's just a weird moment of like no this is definitely a stand like they do get it before they go to the hotel. They just like there's definitely a stand user in this town kind of thing. But
it is funny to me the idea that like maybe these characters are always experiencing like weird senior moments, so they just like okay I better not tell everyone about it because they'll make fun of me.
This is the first part with stands, so I guess like trying to have that like disbelief of like could this be an enemy stand user kind of thing would be the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess trying to find a stand user seems to be important, but it's not important in this fight because Enya's very dumb, as we'll get to. So Enya shows up. So and invites him to the hotel and calls them Mr. Joestar, and like they call her out on that and everything. But one thing in the OVA, she disguised herself as a young woman.
Oh,
so she's
really?
She's like a hot young Enya for most of it.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Another thing about Justice, the hands match Enya. It has the same two hands.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, apparently that's the thing they add for Justice.
That's really interesting. So that's actually that makes sense that she would be like younger because.
But it's a disguise though of a young lady. She still eventually becomes old hag during like when she attacks and everything.
No, but I'm saying like because. Part of like the whole thing with Polnareff is like Polnareff starts like coming on to her in like a weird way.
Where you coming on like a old a person that charms an old lady by calling her young and everything.
But it's like it goes to a really weird level later where he starts like massaging her back and making her a woman, like a younger woman. I guess would kind of be more interesting and like okay, well maybe there's like an actual like romantic connection.
Where this one he's treating her like my mom passed away. So I always want give my you always gonna play give a. Make it happy like a mother or something like that, which is another thing he used to jokingly egg her on.
And it kind of works, whatever, we'll get to that later, but like, it kind of works in that scene, but that's really interesting they decided to make her young and pretty, in a disguise of being young and pretty.
But she's smart, the one smart thing she did is covering up her hand, so she, you can't give away, she has the same two hands as Jay Guile.
Yeah. Because you know how that's a genetic
thing, yeah. That's how that works. And she blames Polnareff, but they get to the hotel and Whole Horse is back. And
I honestly forgot he was even in this arc.
I remembered, but then like Enya, so Whole Horse could have been the most useful fucking person for this. To get any kind of wound on anybody to help her, but she's like, "No, you left my son to die." Like he died before I got there.
So I'm really intrigued by this. Whole Horse's inclusion of this arc. So, okay.
I felt like this was where Polnareff or Whole Horse was going to join them. Because he was going to help them.
It does, and that one cover page.
Yes.
There's one, like, double cover that has, like, the Crusaders and Whole Horse.
Yes.
And it honestly does feel like he could... So, I have some thoughts about this, but, like, I want to talk about the Justice's power. So, we learn that Justice is a mist.
Yes,
that
a fog.
Fog, rather. I think I was associating the Stephen King story with this, too.
Not.
I wonder if there's, like, any inspiration there.
Maybe. I'm not sure when The Mist came out, but then again...
There's probably in the 80s. I feel like most of
this is more zombies, though.
But so, yeah, it is. It definitely goes more zombies, but... The power of Justice is basically if you have any wound, that becomes a sort of like...
A big hole opens up and then it becomes...
It's your way for Enya to control you.
It's like your blood gets sucked out into the fog and that's like strings basically to attach and control you.
So we see this manifest in a few ways. We see Polnareff eventually gets like his tongue. There's a wound in his tongue.
I don't know how he fixes that.
And we don't need to even like worry about that. But so he has a wound in his tongue, but it only makes his tongue move. It doesn't control his whole body. But then like
it's like fun. Where it's like
kind of
wherever he gets like the mark he gets, that's where you control. And I guess like unless you're officially dead, she doesn't have complete control over you.
Because what happens, with actually Fun's a really good comparison. So Fun, if he controls all 4 of your limbs, he gets total control of you. That's how.
Where
it
this
works.
one, like, if you're dead and you have the holes in you, you're controlled.
Yeah.
Or she kills you, I guess, or you die in the fog. I guess that's how that works.
You also get like a really big tongue too, but
you get a sharp tongue. You get like part 1 like vampire powers, or just like you can just use your body to attack people.
But so yeah, we have Whole Horse come in, and there's this really funny scene where. Like, Enya's like, you are my son's friend, correct? And he's like, sure.
Yeah,
and then immediately she can't even contain herself.
Then he says, you're gonna go kill Polnareff. Yeah, I'm gonna get revenge for my best friend. He's like, bullshit. And then it goes for scissors.
She can't even fucking, like, wait a second. She needs to just attack him. Like, as you said, not only would having him under control work, just even teaming up with him. He seemed willing to team up with her.
Yeah, you knew him. You both met up at Dio's mansion, like, before. They had that meeting, I'm sure.
Even though, because
he was at the PowerPoint presentation. Like, come on.
Her fear, or her concern about him is that he ran away, not that he was a betrayer.
At this point, Whole Horse killed one of the Crusaders, and kills in quotes, but still.
So, okay. Then, she ends up attacking him with the scissors. He's, like, out of commission.
He gets a wound on him. He gets out of commission. He gets, like...
Hilarious. Okay, my favorite scene, maybe, in the whole chapter, behind, like, how Justice is beat. So Polnareff is like, all right, my right arm is being controlled, and then I'm going to attack Enya. So he decides to summon the Emperor.
In typical gun user JoJo fashion, manages to shoot himself, but be completely fine.
So why would he, if his hand is not... So he shoves his hand in his mouth, because, like...
Yes.
And he's controlling his hand. Then he's like, I'm gonna take this hand that's being controlled and grab the Emperor with it. And then he hilariously and he makes him turn his hand around and shoot himself in the face. Why would he do this?
He's stupid. But also, Whole Horse can control the bullet trajectory, so he probably could have just made it. If it wasn't at point blank range, you probably could have made it go straight up. You realize it, like, but that's good. Whole Horse is not smart.
And this is something that Enya brings up later, that he must have, like, recalled his stand, like, the second the bullet hit his face. So that I guess it didn't destroy his brain. Well,
sure.
Whatever. So
Jim, gun users are surprisingly, like, durable in JoJo.
They have to be.
And Mista used the real gun.
I mean, Mista was shot by his own gun in the head several times.
Yes, multiple times.
So the gunshot.
Hey, and don't forget, Abdul survived. We learned that Abdul's going to survive from the shot between his eyes.
Yeah, actually, I want to bring that up. So I want to jump to the next scene. Like, the gunshot causes Polnareff to go downstairs.
Investigate the noise.
He is, like, immediately brought to suspicion by her because
she looked like she's like pretending that she fell down. Like, she had to, like, jokingly, like, move the body around and everything while, like,
which is really happening. Funny. The way that Enya bumbles through a lot of this is really funny.
This is not great plan she had, because they were still in the fucking hotel when she tried to kill Whole Horse. Like I said, this is not a great plan she had.
It certainly is not. But so what ends up happening is she ends up starting attacking him. That's when we see Whole Horse show up again.
Well, I want to talk about, like, when Polnareff, like, is like, oh, you run this all alone? Don't you have a son or anything?
Okay, yeah.
And, like, your son could have grandchildren running around too here and help you out. And it's just, like, progressively, like, pissing her off. It's so, like, good.
I know that he's not supposed to know about it, but the way he's behaving, it feels like really he's rubbing it in.
Yeah,
like,
it really did.
He's really just rubbing this in.
You don't have a son or a daughter or something? Like...
And then even the way that he's like, oh, let me massage your back. Just like, think of me. He says the lines, think of me as your son today. And then that's when she loses it and, like, starts attacking him.
Yeah. The partner also meant that he lost his mother when he was young as well.
Mm-hmm.
That was just a little thing he sprinkled in there.
So the thing that I wanted to
basically,
get into...
Polnareff doesn't have any luck with women, like, the family or like, romantically.
The one thing I want to get into, so when we have the scene where Polnareff's running away...
Polnareff,
Whole Horse shows up again and says, like, Polnareff, don't let her hurt you.
Well, the first thing is because Whole Horse crawls back out from under the couch or whatever, and, like, basically gives way that Enya's after him, because he's like, behind you, Polnareff, don't let her stab you, and then that's when he, like, realizes it and tries to, like, back off.
Yeah, but so we have this scene where Polnareff runs away from Enya.
Yeah, those zombies appear too.
Yeah. So that's like the real threat because Enya's not really too threatening herself. She just has her fucking scissors. But so Whole Horse is like, no, Polnareff, bring me with you. And then he's like, after killing Abdul, fuck you.
So good.
Which this, I mean, yes, but so I'm gonna think ahead to what happens later in part 3. So every other character but Polnareff knows that Abdul is not actually dead.
Yes.
This could have been a scene where they actually do team up.
Yes.
Like, Whole Horse could have helped.
If they told him.
Could have helped him. Like,
if they did talk no jutsu and talked about it, it is Polnareff than just letting him fucking sulk in
Why didn't Joseph tell Polnareff that Abdul's not actually dead? That would have changed everything in the scene.
Because it's stupid, not a great choice.
It is so... I know... I mean, you can, like, throw shit at Araki's writing as much as you want, but, like, this just feels like... He didn't know he's going to bring Abdul back at this point. So the narrative is treating the Abdul as dead.
Yes.
But if he had known that Abdul wasn't actually dead,
or like,
he would have just could have worked with the Whole Horse.
Or if all Joseph in the situation is just like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, like, I'm sorry that I killed Abdul. Like, you didn't kill him, but I'm bringing you with you and drags him with like Hermit Purple or something.
Yeah, like anything. Like, but no, it's just whatever. It is a funny moment too, because like, I mean, in the moment, like, and to Polnareff's knowledge, like, yeah, it is good that he's like, fuck you.
It's funny that, like, there's, like, I guess, multi-person battle is happening, because Whole Horse is, like, on his own team now. It's just, like, we could, like, help me, like, no, fuck you. Fuck, like, the third party, like, fuck off, third party.
It is really funny that he does just ignore him. But
you don't really, as I said, my favorite things in JoJo is when they have, like, 3 different parties, like, fighting each other. You don't get that often, but you only really get that in, like, part 8, really. So...
And, like, some parts of part 3.
And a little bit, yes.
Or no, wait, I meant part 5.
Yeah, I have, like, part 7 had it, but they're not, like, together, like, standoff, though. It's all, like, just 3 teams, like, engaging in, like,
yeah, part 7 is, like, kind of a free-for-all.
Yeah.
Because it's, like, it's a battle royale, basically, but racing.
But horse racing.
It's like Fork Knife with horse race.
It's Fortnite. So, yes,
he ends up, like...
He goes to the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't know what to do. He hates bathrooms. He's ready to fight. The one thing you never do in a horror situation is to look through the keyhole.
I do love that there's an eye waiting for him right at the keyhole. But Polnareff should have just used Silver Chariot.
Later.
He should have just poked a Silver Chariot
You think so? Like, or to shoot it.
So, unfortunately, through the keyhole...
Gets tongue slashed through his tongue.
Which is funny, because when I was reading that, it didn't look like his tongue got hurt. It looked like his cheek did, but... His tongue gets a hole on it, so...
And then he's just thrown around like
I do love the scene where he's, like, being led by his tongue around.
She's just playing with him right now, making him, like, suffer and, like, torturing him, like, gonna make him lick the disgusting toilet with all the crap on it.
It is really funny. And then also, this is like the payoff to the joke of like, oh, I want a clean toilet tonight. And then he's being forced. And like every time they zoom in closer to the toilet, you see more and more shit there. It's
but she had to fucking play with her food. And she'd like went for the fucking kill. It would have been over with, but no.
Mr. fucking OP plot device strolls in. Jotaro Kujo goes down the stairs.
Like, he didn't play around with J-Guy. He had to wait for his opportunity, then fucking took it and killed him. Like... But yeah, so Jotaro arrives. He like punts the door. He doesn't like just do the standard like this is Sparta kick. He just like literally just punts it like a freaking field goal kick. It's so funny.
He's Jotaro. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
And yeah, he's like, "Hey, where's my French friend around here?" And then she has to think like, "Oh man, he's actually smart. I have to be careful with what I say." And then he tells him he's in the bathroom, goes for an attack, but then like Jotaro stops, like trips her by accident, and she just falls and like she sees like the scissors like land like in the floor. Like, oh, you shouldn't run with scissors. Like you're Jotaro.
These are like some of the most hilarious moments.
I know you're in detective mode. I don't know if you're being real or not, or just fucking with her, but still.
He clearly is fucking with her because he knows he already has the book evidence ready.
He has his Phoenix Wright evidence or Danganronpa. He has his truth bullet ready to go.
I really do love this kind of little monologue he goes on where he's like, I like that show Columbo. Like, if there's a mystery that I can't figure out, I'm kept up all night.
He's like, oh, how do you know my name was Jotaro? I never said my first name. Oh, you wrote it in the book. And reads all their names out. And he's like, huh, you mean the truth bullet? Like, dog, new 100% cheap wool, and then it'd be like the book.
Cutaro
login book. Yeah, Cutaro.
His name is Cutaro. He wrote Cutaro.
I bet someone made that fan art, be fucking great. But like, yeah, he's the shooter with the truth boy. Like, he's like, you're wrong, and then he shows like the Cutaro. I wrote down the names of all of them. Like, it was Joseph. It's
Joseph Joestar, right?
Yeah, it was like Jane of John Pierre, like Jain, Tomei Kakuin, and then Cutaro.
The fact that it's just Cutaro, it's like it's Jotaro but with a Q instead of the
Q on coat Jotaro.
Oh, it's very funny.
And he got her.
he fucking and he's
playing that last mini game where he has to like fit together all the scenes of the crime in order.
And then. So it's funny because Sam was actually in the room with me when I was reading this last chapter, and he was.
I was like, "Do you remember how this ends?" And you're like, "No."
I was like, "Yeah, it's just like a aura, right?" And I was like, "He was like,
no." So he punches zombies. Whole horse tells him Jotaro about to stand, but he goes, "The stand is too strong. We cannot defeat the stand." Like, you can kill the user. She's an old lady that lets herself get close to you because she has to physically stab you or get someone to hurt you. And she's been doing it herself more than using her zombies, which would have been the smarter idea to use.
Because once Jotaro appears and the zombies show up, he just auras all of them. They're not really a threat.
There's also a zombie babies and the zombie lady and like.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's just like disgusting. Like there actually is a dead fucking baby.
I was really disturbed by
fucking
that.
Penis out.
Yeah, I was really grossed out by the dead baby with all the holes. Because like
all the boils.
You're told what the holes mean, and like. This is a dead baby.
And the boils just seem to be like the skin like rotting for the most part.
Mm-hmm. But and Jotaro does get licked on the leg, but it doesn't seem to affect him. Like, I guess the blood doesn't seep out quick enough. So,
I don't know, man.
I mean, he's able to just do his funny epic plan, which is
suck.
Like
Spaceball, he went from blow to suck.
So his plan, he does like the thing where he calls his run where he's like, you're not going to be able to take one more breath, and then she's like, haha, I will take one more. She like narrates her breath.
like the watch, like the monologue in part 4. Like, he's just full of like all these like epic one-liners that he really wants to get through. Or even like when he fights Dio, he's gonna say we're gonna draw like gunslingers kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, draw your pathetic last breath.
And then he says high noon.
Yeah. And then he just sucks all the fight. He sucks the stand into himself, which I'm guessing the stand cannot physically hurt anybody. Like, so he's just like there's a stand inside of him.
I'm honestly like I'm so baffled. I don't know how to process.
Which is like poetry. It's a foreshadow for next arc with the lovers.
So he sucks in the stand, and then it can't breathe. So Enya dies.
She doesn't die.
Or well, she suffocates.
Or she gets KO'd.
Because she can't breathe. Because the stand is.
Because how she dies is different in the OVA than it is in the manga.
Okay, so yeah, how do they do it here?
In the manga,
or in the OVA.
OVA.
Like, so we haven't gotten to her actual death yet, I guess.
Dio Fleshbud.
Oh.
In the OVA kills her because her death kind of leads into the next arc. Like.
Okay, so yeah, we actually haven't gotten to her death in the manga, so I don't know.
I mean,
wait, did she die?
She does die.
Okay, I guess we'll find out next time.
It's not. It's like very like not a big deal, I guess.
Okay.
But yeah, she apparently this Dio Fleshbud goes wild because the next part they skip in the OVA. They skip the lovers.
I guess. Okay.
Yeah, they skip the lovers.
Where do they go to next then? Is it Darby?
I forget where they go to. I think they may go. I wonder if they go to Endall or they go to the Genie maybe.
So the one after lovers is the Sun, and then
they don't
Death
do the
13.
Sun. 13. I mean, Death 13 might be what they do. Let me look up. JoJo OVA.
JoJo. If you've been a long-time listener, you know that OVA stands for Ovary Vagina
That's what you went to.
Association.
Wow, Jim.
I actually thought of that joke earlier today.
I'm sure you did. I'm glad you're finally able to do that.
The Ovary Vagina Association.
Episodes. Evil Spirit, Hairpin Green, Silver Cherry, and Strength, the Emperor and the Hang. I was like, Polnareff and Strength team up in the OVA.
Interesting.
Emperor and the Hangman.
Wait, what? Polnareff and Strength?
Polnareff's on the boat as the enemy.
What?
Yeah.
It's weird. What?
Yeah. The Judgment. Oh wait, the Justice called Judgment.
Okay, whatever. We'll talk about this later.
Mist of Vengeance, and then Justice, and then it goes to Iggy and Endall.
Wow, so they just jump right to Egypt then.
Apparently, yeah.
Well, wasn't that how the isn't the first episode of the OVA Geb? Isn't it? Doesn't it begin in Egypt?
What?
The OVAs.
OVAs do begin with Jotaro in prison.
Really? I thought. Yeah. Well, don't they? Whatever. I have not seen them. I'm not going to talk about something I haven't seen. This is stupid. Okay, so back to the manga. What do you think?
Pretty good.
This arc was like.
It's
fine.
interesting. She's very dumb. Jotaro was the MVP of this one because Jotaro his fucking stupidness is amazing.
It is really. I feel like we could just like get rid of this.
Yeah, nothing important really happened. Whole horse showing up is random, but doesn't really.
But it honestly should be important because we have Dio's right hand man. We have this also the J Guile connection. Like this should be
Whole horse
more important
only
arc.
recurring villain of part 3.
Yeah,
like is there and like he just explains stands. That's all he does.
I mean, I like seeing Whole Horse again, but. I don't know. I remember not liking this when I watched the anime, and I'm also like, whatever. I like how quick it is when I can read it. But
it's it definitely. I still think the Jotaro stuff at the end made up for a lot of what's in this.
Yeah,
Enya's very dumb.
Attitude at the end is very funny.
Enya's just very fucking dumb for just being like the old lady, like the kind of like the sage or like the what's the word I'm looking for?
Like the wise woman.
Yeah,
like she should be a lot more clever than she actually is.
Yes.
She's very emotional.
Like the shaman, like the kind of shaman, future fortune teller kind of lady.
She's really emotional and like unhinged in this arc. And that's not what I would expect from a character like Enya.
She did get emotional when she did find out her son died, but but I think for this one, I think she would compose herself to show you why she is Dio's right hand. So because now it kind of just goes to his right hand is his pet shop, the other Darby. And that one vampire that backs a woman.
Yes.
I think it's Wired Beck. I think his name is.
You know better than me. But so just going back to
and Vanilla Ice. Vanilla Ice doesn't become a vampire until like literally right before his fight.
That's hilarious. But so, okay, just going back to like Enya's plan here. So she's just very, I guess you can say she's so distraught that she just like doesn't really plan it out properly.
But she
should have had a teammate. Like Justice is a stand that really needs to have
a good offensive teammate.
Yeah. It's kind of like how like later on we see Whole Horse teams up with Boingo.
Yes,
and like that's a perfect because like they're two stands that like don't really work together or don't work apart, but they work together really well. Like Enya should have like Whole Horse. She shouldn't have got rid of Whole Horse so soon.
Because there's the lovers which just kind of reflects attacks. I'm trying to think what else. What the genie one probably wouldn't be that helpful. Oh, the High Priestess, the one that can just like go on like objects. Because
that's like a distance one anyway, so that's even safer.
But I think Whole Horse would have been perfect.
Whole Horse would have been perfect.
Endall, you get one of the Egyptian ones maybe. Like, okay, guys, you guys don't have to camp in Egypt. One of you guys can come with me to Pakistan. Like Mariah.
Well, Endall couldn't find his way there because he's blind.
Told him the wrong way. Just tell him to sit in this desert until they come around. And I guess Anubis is just a sword. And I guess like it's literally good whoever someone picks him up at. I don't think I feel like
we haven't done Anubis yet, have we?
No,
he's Egyptian guy.
Yeah. So
I'm ready for Egypt, man.
I know.
I'm done with fucking the sun. We have to do the sun.
Oh my god,
next.
Is the sun? The lovers is next, then the sun, and then I think it's the High Priestess and
Judgment too. I don't even know what Judgment is.
Judgment.
We'll get there when we get there.
Judgment. I try. Oh, Judgment's the genie. I think.
Okay, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. Let's just give me to Egypt, please.
Get Abdul back.
Let's get Abdul back. It is really weird not seeing Abdul in group shots, even though I know he's only in it for a little bit.
But he showed the book like, wait, where's Abdul's name? I want to see like Davdol, Doug Dividol.
Yeah.
But,
all right.
But yeah, I think Jotaro is definitely like the funniest part of this, but. That it's still you can cut this and not miss anything. The fact that
it's true.
The fact that this made it in the OVA because it only probably existed because it was known as J Guile's mother was in there and that she's like Dio's because she's like there in the beginning to explain the stand stuff as well because she had like an arrow in the very beginning.
Wait,
I'm pretty sure
that's
like
not true. That's in part 4.
Part
stand
4?
arrow did not exist in part 3.
That's right. I forgot the anime showed the arrow. I think
they did like clever.
Which is kind of funny to go back and think about it now though.
That she's going around. Yeah,
you go with that knowledge of like actually like part 4 and go back and think about it, that she had the arrow and like was probably giving stands to people, so she had some.
And he's just like gallivanting around the world.
He's a fucking idiot as well.
Okay.
That's so interesting. And also, she has one of the covers, I think, on one of the hardcovers.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Enya is just such a weird character.
She had one of the front covers, or one of the back covers, but I know she is on one of around there.
That's interesting.
So
Enya, I don't know. I just think it's really, she's such a funny little like quirk to me. Like
I
don't care about her.
You could technically fight her in the zombies in Eyes of Heaven.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm. One of those like trash mob fights you can do, and she just kind of walks around like very slowly as you beat up zombies.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm done talking about Enya. It is funny. Didn't we see Enya in like part 8 recently?
Yeah, we saw her in the Rock Human explanation chapter, which was funny.
That was really fucking funny.
So
I love being reminded of Enya.
Yeah, it's just kind of funny how so many stands could just like kind of use like, especially Fun in part 8 kind of use that Enya thing. Maybe that's why he had him in his mind because Fun was like fresh in his mind when from the recent chapters. That's why he kind of had her because like, her stand was so kind of similar to his.
It's really cool that you brought up Fun because I haven't heard anyone ever compare her stand. Like I've never heard it before, but they really are similar. Like they're basically weird, the way it's described as like strings and like
puppeting someone was from wounds they get.
I think Fun is like way more interesting,
and that they both need prep time to do, as we've seen with the intro to Fun. And I guess even he didn't really have prep time when he attacked the mansion, but he still did a pretty good job without it. Mm-hmm. He's more competent than Enya. He just got really unlucky.
I think it's like with Enya in particular, her stand is like very much like a lot of the part 3 stands where they feel like a little too overpowered.
Yeah.
In like a weird way. And because something's so overpowered, it makes the fight less interesting. But with Fun, having all those specific conditions to the stand, it makes the fight so much more clever and like innovative.
Learned from reading part 3 how many OP stands there are in there. Like Tower of Grey.
Strength, like there's so many of these stands, like Wheel of Fortune even. Like Wheel of Fortune has such like unexplored potential to
they have so many ass pulls that like they barely got away. Like Rubber Soul and Yellow Temperance was like fucking ridiculously overpowered.
But even in like part 4 we start seeing stand abilities being pared down.
Yes, or have limitations or on them.
Yeah, the limitations I think really, because it's like you're given like a box to play in rather than like having the whole
and even like
sandbox.
The really overpowered ones in part 4, like they had really fun ways to play around it, like Cheap Trick was like probably had like one like the best player because you were dead if you got seen, and just having that callback to something that was established, like it's really cool. But this was just like there are teases for what the stand could do, but are never like elaborated on. There's she should be smarter and pair off with someone because she has to let this like. She's a very old lady to do it herself to try to stab someone with scissors. But I guess she tries to use the element of surprise all the time. But I feel like she can have an army of zombies that can literally like. So when they were into town, she could have had zombies have knives or something, or use tongues to pierce all of the Crusaders and literally win. Like, I have to take them one by one. But like, if you attack them with the villagers and not like hide herself in this entire town, it'd be very hard to figure it out.
It almost feels like a wasted opportunity that she
didn't
get to control.
She can affect animals too.
Yeah. Why didn't she try and... Okay, here's how Enya wins. So she just gets she controls one mosquito. This mosquito sneaks up on Joseph.
She has to stab the mosquito without like killing it, or without like bringing its wings or
just
anything.
Get like a tiny little.
She basically had the scenario of a snail that chases you and kills you if it touches you.
Seriously, like if she can get like a bunch, imagine with 1,000 like flies or 1,000 bees
or dogs.
She could win instantly.
She had dogs. She could have fucking horses. Imagine a fucking horse going after you.
That'd be terrifying.
Yes, horses are fucking scary.
So yeah, I just think like.
A fucking wolf. Cats. All you need is one cat. And you win.
Scratch.
Yes. Scratch.
And it could even endear itself too. Like it's really cute. Because cats will be really cute and then they'll scratch out of nowhere.
Good stand, but dumb user.
Yeah, I really think the
Okuyatsu effect.
Yeah. we missed out on like an interesting, even like having like one Crusader being controlled. Like
imagine,
even though Polnareff does lose control to her, he doesn't actually even fight anyone.
See with this fucking middle of nowhere Pakistan. Imagine she stayed in like Cairo and using this in the fucking entire city.
Yeah.
Like it's like people getting stabbed in like alleys or some shit, and like just using all this injuries, or go to a hospital and just like all these injuries that are happening there. She's made them into zombies or something. fucking cool as shit, but she like wasted herself by going to Pakistan and take care of them herself when she could like. I know the lovers are nearby because I'm sure they're gonna show up like literally the next day or in this town or wherever they go to next. So
yeah, okay. I feel like that's I don't really have anything else to say.
I don't have anything else to say. It's just like there's so many better. It's literally just not a great plan.
No.
So. All right, I guess that's everything. I ranted about Enya's plan for like 15 minutes.
No, that was a. I feel like the more we talked about it, the more there was to like dissect about her stupidity.
Yes. So yeah, thank you all for listening. They appreciate it. You can like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Leave your comments on what other things Enya could have done to do better.
Also, what do you think of this arc overall? Like,
yeah.
Do you actually like Enya? Do you like the Justice Stand? I feel like not many people do.
Yeah, I think it looks cool, but
it's fine.
So, and yes, please, you can follow me and Jim on Twitter or the podcast itself. You can check out any other videos like Jujutsu Kai Quest or the Part 8 stuff if you haven't listened to. If you're under a rock and just haven't listened to those. And join the Discord, of course. And anything else that I'm missing?
That's it.
All right, I think we're good, and we'll get to the lovers. Who knows what the future holds for that?
Sorry. Thank you for joining. See you next time.
See ya.
Bye.